3-in-1 concept?
The Coloressense, Goldeneye Coloressense 3-in-1 concept is quite easy to understand. There is artists that like to work with colors that are more liquid. Others like to work with colors that are more creamy and silky and soft. From the technical point of view, sometimes it does make a lot more sense to work with colors that are quite liquidish, and for example, if you want to draw a hair effect or a very sharp outline for the lip contour, for those techniques I would always recommend to work with colors that are very easy to absorb inside the skin. You have to imagine a little bit of the color will be implanted by the forward motion of the needle, but most of the color will be implanted when the needle moves backwards outside from the skin. And in that moment it depends what consistency you have around the needle. And the more liquid the color is, and the higher pigmented this color is, the more result you will have with that just one penetration. So therefore, once you work with a needle applicator 1 or applicator 1 nano, I would always recommend to add to the Coloressense pigment about 10 drops of color. You add 2 drops of easy flow. And that changes the color. It's not necessarily a dilution. Of course, if you add more, you could dilute the color with it. But to add in a ratio of 10 drops color, 1 or 2 drops easy flow, you will not thin the density, you will enhance the density, because more color will be sucked in by the vacuum under the needle. On the other way around, there is techniques that I like to use pigment which is more silky, more creamy, more oily. And this is especially for all the powder techniques. On the powder techniques, the needle moves quite slowly and the hand moves quite quickly, and that leads in the end to a kind of little like a scratching on the surface. In the end, it's a little bit more abrasive than the movement of the slow hand. Therefore, we need to protect the skin in one respect. We need to reduce discomfort and bleeding. So in the skin top additive, you will find witch hazel extracts that help the skin to stop bleeding and to heal more quickly after this kind of powder technique. And also in the powder technique, the needle doesn't go so deeply into the skin, but by moving, the vacuum comes behind the needle. So there is a larger space that would also suck into the skin some oily color. So we have 2 possible benefits, and on the other way, the third possibility is to use the color just as it comes in the bottle. So we have the easy flow as a diluter, as a thinner, but also as a product that still lets the pigments float inside the composition. Because if you would thin a pigment color with water, slowly but surely the pigments would fall down to the ground. So after a certain point, you just dip the needle into a diluted area, and you don't get the real pigment. And the easy flow keeps the color floating inside the pot. So it's really very easy and very comfortable, because in the end you just need one color. You mix your favorite color, or you just grab your favorite color, and you can play, correlating to your own needs and correlating to your own wishes. You play with the consistency as you wish.